by some nations. In Nigeria, the celebration is majorly on March 27th and also in the month of May. This shows the power of motherhood. On cue today is a feature on mothers as backbones of families and societies. And as we celebrate good mothers, the horrors of evil women who ought to play mothers cannot be overlooked. We have an update on the 7-year-old girl who was locked up, beaten, and tortured by her aunt and her husband. And in Lagos, a true life horror case that shows that a house could be haunted while mothers and the family stay in the dark until death strikes in the open. Stay tuned for the story on the killer nanny. Also on our offer today are cheery news of celebrations, conventions, and an invention by a Nigerian youth. Okay, stay glued to your TV set. We are loaded today. But let's start with the news segment, and Elizabeth Omori is on standby. Hello, Lizzie. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's nice to see you as well. President Muhammadu Buhari formally congratulates the Abdullahi Adamu-led 77-member National Executive Committee of the All Progressives Congress that emerged at the just concluded convention in Abuja. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, relayed the messages in a statement.
President Buhari says the unity of members will put the party on a firmer footing for victory at the 2023 general elections. The president, who returned to the convention ground alongside the vice president and president of the Senate to witness and celebrate the inauguration of the elected party executives, noted that the smooth conduct of election raises the prospect of a mouth-watering APC victory next year, a victory for the voters of Nigeria, who can now be assured of a smooth succession to new leadership in 2023. Unlike the fake news on division, the convention showed reality of unity, cohesion, and indeed personal warmth between members. The president said the stage is now set for the APC primary elections later this year, when the party's new flag bearers will emerge. But the good voters of Nigeria can see through such acrobatics and know the facts that when the contests for 2023 come, APC offers a track record of success and leadership. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, congratulates Senator Abdullahi Adamu on his emergence as the new national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Senator Lawan also congratulates other members of the newly inaugurated National Working Committee as well as zonal officers of the party on their elections. In the same vein, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, while congratulating the new national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, expressed optimism in his ability to take the party to victory.
Former Governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Adamu, has taken oath of office as the third elected national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Alhaji Adamu was elected alongside 77 other members who make up the National Working Committee and zonal leadership of the party.
And bear true allegiance to the All Progressives.
Under the watchful eyes of the leader of the party, President Muhammadu Buhari, the founding fathers, the progressive governors, APC members of the National Assembly, and other top stakeholders in the governing party, the oath officially opened another chapter for a new leadership for the governing All Progressives Congress. The party's 5th National Convention gave thousands of delegates the opportunity to elect leaders through the ballot box, while a majority of the National Working Committee members, including the national chairman, emerged through a consensus. The new national chairman promised to operate an all-inclusive administration that will sustain the gains of the party and its government at all levels. He said the current administration is taking the lead in providing the long-awaited leadership for the good of the citizens with focus on nation building. He noted that the Nigerian ideal should be a collective responsibility.
And we will work hard to ensure that we fulfill your expectations As politicians, we are not strangers to gains, losses, and disappointments with the outcome of every political contest. Let us show maturity and good sportsmanship. For almost 7 years now, APC administration at the federal, state, and local levels have been battling night and day in order to enhance the livelihood of Nigeria through various policies, programs, and projects.
Chairman, APC National Convention Election Committee, Governor Muhammad Badaru of Jigawa State, attributed the success of the exercise to the collective will and determination of the leader of the party and all aspirants.
Those that are following us through the night have seen all the announcements on whether consensus or results obtained out of the contest of the few offices that we have reason to contest.
Adamu Abdullahi is the 5th helmsman of the APC and 3rd elected national chairman after John Odige Oyegun and Adams Oshomole. In Abuja, Salio Gwanara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Governor Maimala Boni, has advised the APC to approach 2023 general elections with a united front. The appeal was contained in Governor Maimala Boni's address to the APC National Convention, which held on Saturday in Abuja.
Governor Boni describes the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee as a child of circumstance constituted by the National Executive Committee to restructure and reposition the party. Evaluating the achievements recorded by the party under the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Governor Boni said upon assumption of office, the committee embarked on a genuine and all-inclusive reconciliation process to give everyone a true sense of belonging, confidence and reassurance in the collective ownership of the party. He said under his chairmanship of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, the APC recorded unprecedented increase in membership from the previous 11 million registered members to more than 41 million registered members, adding that the APC now has an added advantage of winning elections in Nigeria with landslide victories. Furthermore, Governor Boni said under the Caretaker Committee, the APC made history with an unparalleled record of high-powered defections into the party, including 3 serving governors. He listed other achievements of the committee to include the peaceful and successful congresses at various levels, review of the party's constitution. The party also organized the National Youth Summit, attracting youth from all the political wards across the country to mobilize the youth and give them a sense of belonging and to enhance their commitment to the party. Similarly, women party faithful from across the country were assembled in Abuja and sensitized on active participation and generating support for the party. The party also took deliberate measures to give special recognition to people living with disabilities and now represented in every function of the party. This is in recognition of the great roles they play in mobilizing the electorate and participation in election processes. The chairman, Governor Maimala Boni, says the party is aware of the 2023 aspirations of some members and is appealing to all aggrieved members to bury their differences and collectively work for the interest and success of the party.
And political gladiators have continued to strategize and position themselves to clinch the flag of various political parties ahead of the Ekiti and Osun governorship polls and ultimately the 2023 general elections. Timothy Yusuf reports.
This meeting is for me to consult you with aspiration.
The chairman of PDP Governors Forum and governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, who is aspiring to flag the PDP ticket in the forthcoming presidential election, has further taken his consultative engagement to former Deputy Governors Forum of PDP extraction and PDP women. Governor Tambuwal believes that the country needs an experienced pan-Nigerian Democrat who has the capacity to provide local solutions to local problems.
We must all sheathe our swords and be talking about Nigeria.
Speaker after speaker enjoined the PDP to jettison zoning arrangements, rather look out for those that can deliver positive results. Meanwhile, Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze, Nigerian in the diaspora from Anambra State, has informed the People's Democratic Party of his intention to join in the presidential race come 2023. He explained that his interaction with the party has kick-started his wider consultation with Nigerians.
I'm pursuing to a united Nigeria that works well for all groups, that's free and fair for everybody.
Away from the PDP, the Action Democratic Congress has reacted to its exclusion by INEC from the forthcoming Osun State governorship election. INEC said nominations of AA, ADC and ABGA will not be published for their failure to comply with the Commission's guidelines on political party operations 2018 or the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
They said ADC fielded a 33-year-old person as deputy governor.
National Chairman Ralph Okeunwosu enjoined party members to remain loyal to constituted authority while efforts are being intensified to resolve the issue. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
In still talking politics and governance, the Nigerian Governors Forum has pledged its commitment to supporting the efforts of the Inter-Party Advisory Council to establish the African Democratic Institute. Timothy Yusuf reports that Chairman of the Forum and Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, gave the indication at an interactive session with the leadership of IPAC in Abuja.
This visit by the leadership of the Inter-Party Advisory Council on the Nigeria Governors Forum is to seek areas of collaboration towards deepening the nation's democratic institutions. Chairman of the NGF, Kayode Fayemi, believes that the forum as a non-political platform is open to the African Democratic Institute initiative of IPAC, which when established will further strengthen democratic governance.
As a body to support IPAC to deliver on its task, we would be willing to do so. We know that this is a crucial penultimate year to the big election year, and IPAC would have a lot of roles to play.
Your Excellency, I wish to draw your attention to the fact that Nigeria is today virtually regarded as the hub and the radiating point of democracy on the African continent. The present leadership of IPAC is positioning the platform to live up to its responsibility of Nigeria in fostering and entrenching democracy in Africa.
The dream of setting up the African Democratic Institute is to have a center in Abuja that will offer the teaching of universal philosophy and practice of democracy. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
In a bit of oil and gas now, the federal government is calling on the European Union to step up investments in gas and hydrocarbon in Nigeria to meet up with the EU's energy needs. The call is occasioned by the lingering crisis between Ukraine and Russia, which is threatening gas supply to European countries, as Russia presently supplies about 30 to 40% of EU gas needs. Lydia Sampson reports.
At the courtesy call of EU ambassadors to Nigeria, led by Ambassador Samuela Isope, Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva said Nigeria is ready to step in as alternative gas supplier to Europe, but called on the EU to encourage its oil and gas companies to scale up investment in the gas sector in Nigeria. Silva said one of the things warned against earlier was the speed with which EU was taking away investments in fossil fuels. Silva told the delegation that what has stunted growth in the development of gas in Nigeria has been that of fresh investments. He added that there must be change of policies if the request by the EU to increase gas supply to Europe is to be realized. The minister said in the last 10 years, over $70 billion worth of investment came to Africa, but sadly, less than $4 billion came to Nigeria.
So there are so many opportunities for us to work together. And I want to assure you that we as a country are ready. Mr. President has mandated us to work assiduously to ensure that we are able to deepen the partnership
While emphasizing the need for transfer of technology in gas and renewable energy, the minister said Africa must be allowed to continue to exploit its hydrocarbon deposits to develop the continent. Ambassador Isofe urged Nigeria to take advantage of the opportunity offered by the present crisis in Europe to scale up gas supplies to Europe.
The next step would be to have technical talks, most likely during the month of April, to see whether we can make this prospect, concrete.
While reflecting on the security situation in the Niger Delta that drastically impacted on gas supply in the last few years, Isope urged the Nigerian government to step up security in the region to guarantee gas supply to EU and member states. The French ambassador to Nigeria, Ambassador Emmanuel Blankman, went down memory lane on diplomatic relations between Nigeria and France, noting that despite the present challenges, French companies are ready to commence new investment in Nigeria. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Stakeholders in Taraba State have converged on Jalingo, the state capital, to draw up short, medium and long-term plan for the development of the region. This was at Taraba Stakeholders Consultative Meeting on the Northeast Stabilization and Development Master Plan. Bem Haya reports.
The Northeast Stabilization and Development Master Plan, which spans 10 years, seeks to engage stakeholders from the grassroots to other levels of the society in a bid to understand their needs and proffer solutions to them. Managing Director of the Commission, who was represented by the Commission's Secretary, Benjamin Wesley Tafida, said the master plan shall contain programs and schemes that would facilitate and promote the physical and socio-economic development of the zone.
The essence of having these diverse stakeholders under one roof here today, therefore, is to harness their individual and collective inputs to enrich the process and align with NEDC's policy of inclusiveness and bottom-up approach.
Lead consultant Dr. Kasim Gidado, who gave an overview of the master plan, said it is the Commission's desire that the master plan is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and timely by learning from the experiences of other regions and setting timelines for implementation. Taraba State Governor, represented by the Head of Service, Mrs. Susie Jemima Nathans, commended the federal government for the initiative and stated the resolve of the state government to contribute its quota in ensuring the success of the project.
We therefore commend the harmony, collaboration and cooperation among the governments of the region and the Commission since inception.
The Northeast Development Commission was established in 2017 with the mandate of coordinating development in the 6 Northeast in Jalingo. Bem Hanya, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force is taking a humanitarian approach to enhancing operational efficiency by recognizing and rewarding the efforts of personnel who have passed muster against all odds. Najat Tujani reports.
Against all odds, these Nigerian Air Force personnel have carried out their duties beyond expectation and are being rewarded for their hard work, or to use the military term, passing muster. 7 non-commissioned officers are being promoted to the rank of Air Warrant Officer, which is the highest or most senior rank of NCOs. For Air Warrant Officer Omotosho, the only female among equals, it is a dream come true.
It means a lot, wonderfully a lot. So overwhelmed, so grateful to God.
Also receiving their wings, these 5 pilots have excelled in air operations, expected to ramp the defense of Nigeria's airspace.
We jointly restate our loyalty and allegiance to ensure the preservation of our national territorial integrity.
All this is aimed at boosting the operational efficiency of the NAF, which is a critical part of enhancing national security.
This training are intended to situate the Nigerian Air Force in a dominant position to deliver air power in light of our involvement in several theaters of operation across the country.
Performing acts of recognition such as winging and promotion is also part of improving its operational standards, efficiency and capacity. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Now, 2 suspected drug traffickers have excreted a total of 165 wraps of cocaine following their arrest at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Both suspects were on board an Ethiopian air flight from Addis Ababa with a total weight substance of 3.619 kilograms ingested. Narcotic officers of the Directorate of Operation and General Investigation also intercepted substantial quantities of illicit drugs packaged for export to Australia, China, Qatar, Ireland and Thailand. Meanwhile, an estimated 2.3 tons of illicit drugs and 791,100 naira were recovered in major raids by NDLEA in Ogun, Rivers and Enugu states in the past week. Mothers as pillars in the home front have been encouraged to set standards by nursing and nurturing children with a kind and disciplined heart. This was the message as the Anglican Church worldwide commemorates the 2022 Mother's Day. Deborah Gazahi Mika reports.
Modern Sunday is a Sunday dedicated by churches worldwide to honor and celebrate mothers' achievements in the home front, church, and the nation at large. Every fourth Sunday of Lent, Anglican churches mark the Sunday with remarkable activities, allowing mothers to conduct the church services. The 2022 celebration tagged "Take this child and nurse him for me, co-task of mothers," a sermon by Charity Obum Nadi, charged mothers to be alive to their divine assignment of raising godly children.
Message to every godly mother today is to see nurturing and nursing godly children as the core task from the Lord.
We build home by building the child.
Advice to mothers out there is for them to live lives worthy of emulation. Not only to your children, you are a mother to every child in the society.
Reverend Obun Nadi also reminded mothers that they have to brace up to the task ahead of them and rescue the society from its current rising cases of social vices.
Mothers fail to do their work as a nurse. They are occupying the home as women. In some homes, maids have taken the role of motherhood. Any child that comes your way, you are just a vehicle to carry the divine mandate of God upon that child.
The combined fellowship of women choir from other denominations in Gishiri community rendered songs of praise at the church service. Deborah Gazaji, NTA News.
President General Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar, has called for intensive prayers for sustainable peace and unity of the country. He made the call at the closing ceremony of the 36th edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition held in Bauchi. Hawal Abdullahi reports.
The National Quranic Recitation Competition, organized by the Center for Islamic Studies, Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, in collaboration with Bauchi State Government, to select those to represent the country at the international level of the competition. At the end of the week-long exercise, Baba Sanyina Mokhtar from Borno State emerged overall winner in male category, while Hawlatu Aminu Ishaq from Zamfara State emerged overall winner in female category. Sultan Saad Abubakar called on Muslims to use the forthcoming Ramadan period in praying for unity and peaceful coexistence in the country, and advised traders to avoid increasing the price of their goods unnecessarily.
For this blessing of the special prayer are making us we who we are and to bring us into this world, in this part of the world. There is no gain in saying the fact that the global Quran remains the only book that has been memorized completely by millions of people across the world.
Highlights of the event was a presentation of prizes where overall winners received the sum of 3 million naira each, while other participants received various amounts of money. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
And it's time to join our sports desk for some sporting stories.
Preparations are in full swing